If you're watching this video, you may already have one of these, or maybe one of these, and you may already have one or more of these. Number one, packing it up. Step number one of integrating a DSLR into your lifestyle is deciding how you will transport it. My favorite way to bring my DSLR around with me is naked. Not me, silly, the camera. That just means a regular neck strap, a lens, a battery, a memory card, and a sense of curiosity and adventure. At first you might say that the camera is going to be in the way, as it's always sort of hanging on me, one way or another. For me though, the simplicity of this setup is why it works. I am constantly reminded that I have a camera with me and it will get in the way. And if it feels like it's bothering me, it probably means that it's time to start using it. There are times, especially when I'm going to be traveling from one place to another, or if I'm shooting in inhospitable conditions, that I want a little more protection. For these situations, I've selected about 4 different options, depending on where I'm going, how much I'm going to need to bring and what mood I'm in. The first and most minimal is this holster bag. It has room for the camera, a small or mid-sized lens with just a couple of compartments for an extra battery or 2 and plenty of memory cards. You won't fit much else in here, but it offers good protection. Next, I have a couple of these small Nikon bags. These are perfect for a smaller DSLR like the D3200 or the D5200. You can change around the Velcro padding to accommodate a camera, a lens or 2, and even a small speed light inside of here. Recently, I purchased this mid-sized Timbuktu bag. At this point, we're getting into the territory of mobile photography warrior. Why? Because in addition to 1 or maybe 2 cameras and a small assortment of lenses, I can also fit a laptop right in here too. The largest I go in my collection is this low pro sling bag. Here I can fit as many as 3 DSLRs, a few lenses, including one the size of my 70-200 and some speed lights, extra batteries, battery charger, and plenty of other goodies. Now remember, these are nice, but my favorite is no bag whenever possible. 2, wearing it well. However you choose to travel, the goal is to have the camera ready to shoot. Think of these larger bags as a good way to take gear from one place to another, but I don't use them all that often when I'm actually shooting. However, both of them do actually slide in front of you so that you can do quick gear changes, so I have actually used them when I'm shooting. The holster bag, it can actually fit through your belt like, well, a holster using this little strap. And, all these bags they're really more for transport than for shooting. 3, making choices. If you're like me, you have too much gear, meaning that every time that you want to take a camera out, you have decisions to make. I often find myself standing in front of my camera cubby holes trying to figure out exactly how to bring all of it with me. When I find myself in this situation, I remind myself that less can be more. For a once-in-a-lifetime trip, I might grab that sling bag that I showed you and pack it to the gills. But for more common adventures, I might bring, the 70-200 one time and a small prime lens another time, and remind myself that I don't need it all every time. When I limit my technical options in the field, it often opens up my creativity much, much more. Your choices might certainly be different than mine. Today, I'm going for a hike in one of the more scenic desert areas around me. I go there often, so there will be time to bring a telephoto lens like this, since there's plenty of wildlife, with me. But today, I'm going to bring this 24mm prime lens and soak in the whole environment. Also, when I'm hiking, this is a lot more fun to carry than something like that big low pro sling pack that I showed you. 4, selecting and sharing. I've been known, even on a short hike, to take hundreds of photos. Sometimes it wouldn't even matter to me if there were even a memory card in the camera. I just really like the creative process. But I do like to share my photos as well, both electronically and in hard copy. To me, that is the end goal, turning the photos into something that can be appreciated. From both the digital and print perspectives, there are more options than ever. Many of my friends share their photos on Facebook and sometimes even on my Facebook page, which makes me very, very happy. Also, there are sites like Flickr that make it easy to share entire galleries. This is old school nowadays, but I even like emailing individual photos to friends and family. For printmaking, there are sites like MPix and Shutterfly. Just upload your shots, select your print size and options, and the prints just show up at your door. When you want to take total control of the process, there are many sizes and types of printers where you can go from image to print and control every step in the process. Cameras with amazing capabilities are getting smaller and smaller, but for many, there is still no substitute for a fully capable DSLR camera. With some planning, a sense of adventure, and the understanding that you just can't bring all of your gear everywhere you go, you can go everywhere you want, capture great images, and make creating these a part of your life.